Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back from the Optc video, and in today's video, we're getting a new Kaido that looks a lot like this guy. To be honest, it's not this guy. It is a Magma Kaido from the final episode of the Gear 5 fight. And in today's video, we're going to talk about some Kaidos, some hints of what this particular character might look like and what he might do in One Piece Treasure Cruise. But before we start the video, I do want you guys to pause it right here, head down below, let me know what you guys think the Magma Kaido will look like. Before I say anything, before I can sway your opinions or give you guys ideas, let me know what you guys think down below. And while you're down there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I was gone for a couple of days, but we're back now. The content will keep flowing. Do your boy a favor, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you're coming back, you may as well hit that like button as well. So, Kaido, Magma Kaido from the Gear 5 fight. The silhouette we saw looks a lot like this, and you guys saw it at the start of the video. It does look a little bit like this. Before we dive in, let's take a look at all of the Kaidos in the game, and let's sort of have a breakdown of what they do. So, this particular Kaido was the very first Kaido to hit the game. V1 Kaido Legend for the 4th year anniversary, I believe, or maybe it was the 5th year anniversary. This Kaido, along with Sober Mask and Luffy Zoro, were the characters. The trend with Kaidos are they are either one of three classes. They are either Powerhouse, Strikers, or Driven characters. Now, there's not a lot of Kaidos that aren't these particular classes. There are some outliers, obviously, but like Powerhouse, Striker, and Driven are the big three. Dex is a common theme, Int is a common theme, and Strength is a common theme. We do have a few quick Kaidos here, but we really don't have any Psi Kaidos, which would shock me if this Kaido actually becomes one. But normally, these characters are Dex, Strength, or Int. They're the big three when it comes to Kaido. Int and Strength especially. Kaido will usually do some sort of HP cut that is usually found in his kit. And then he usually does something to do with end of turn damage, or he has something to do with additional damage taken. So, the unit, I do believe, will be sort of built up around that. Let's take a look at some of the other Kaidos in the game. The next Kaido after that was the Treasure Map Kaido. This one right here. Driven Powerhouse unit. He's a Strength character. His special ability would do 20% HP cut. There it is right there. And then would do something depending on recovery orbs. Another big thing about Kaido is that he does love Wano orbs. Or maybe this Kaido was the first Kaido in the game. I might take it back, actually. I don't think this was the first Kaido now. First Legend Kaido, but probably not the first Kaido. Next, then we had the Clash Kaidos, the Neo and the regular. Kaido turned into a Strength character as the free-to-play version. Driven Powerhouse once again. Int and Strength being a common theme. Then we had this Clash, Kazuna Clash Kaido. He was kind of mid. Honestly, this was like the first time we had a quick one. And then we had Kaido vs Big Mom, and Kaido vs Big Mom were a revolution. The very first verse unit, and they were incredibly powerful. Both Driven Powerhouse, Kaido was Strength, Big Mom was Int. I always found Big Mom to be the better of the two, but lots of people liked Kaido. Another thing that this Kaido did that was very similar to a lot of other Kaidos was he did end of turn damage, and depending on how many tandem orbs you got, depending on how to get his versatility. So, tandem orbs, end of turn damage, 20% HP cut, or additional damage taken is usually a big thing with Kaidos. He'll then do some sort of like orb boost, or then some sort of attack boost, and he can do other things as well, but they're the big three that are sort of coming in. When it comes to this particular unit, this Kaido that we will be looking at, we then had this particular Kaido with the very first unit to give additional damage taken by 2 times, and then gave us orbs. He was a pretty cool unit, but I never really liked him. Then we had this Kaido. He had something to do with Wano slots. Again, another Dex Kaido in his dragon form. And then we had the Kaido Beast Pirates. They were kind of cool. This Kaido in his dragon form being Strength as well. This was a Blitz battle, I do believe. And then we had the big one, which was the Dragon Kaido himself in his hybrid form for last year's anniversary. The 8th year anniversary legend, who's still very, very powerful. And with this character being so prevalent, I don't think they are going to make this character Strength, the new Kaido. I think that they might go down a little bit of a different pathway with him, but they might make him Strength. They could, they might, but I don't know. My guess is that they might give him something else. So after that, we had the Int verse Kaido, we had the Blitz Kaido and stuff like that, and from there we haven't really seen too many Kaidos other than that. However, we do have a couple of other characters that have released for this particular celebration that aren't Gear 5. Now, with the boosted list, that's left for Super Sugos. There's about 7 Super Sugos left, and it's a weird number to sort of separate them across 2 banners. So I do believe that either one of the characters is getting a 6+, fingers crossed it's Kid, or Kaido is getting a regular legend alongside him to be the second unit to wrap up this sort of Gear 5 celebration. Now, that could be something like Guernica, that could be something like Orochi, that could be something like Tanjiro, something along those lines. For me, it makes the most sense to be an Orochi legend, like a burning Orochi with what's going on that sort of side thing with Hiyori and Momo and all of that sort of stuff with Dendro and whatnot. I can see that being the side legend, and with that, I do believe Kaido and Orochi, or whatever that side unit is, will be very good with Big Mom. Now, Big Mom was a Super Sugo to come alongside Kid and Law for the Kid Law part of the celebration. She's exceptional. A fantastic legend. Incredibly powerful. Disgustingly powerful. She's a driven powerhouse Dex character, and she gives an additional... She allows you to do a second conditional boost. Now, with this Big Mom, I do think that Kaido will be Dex. Just like V1 Kaido way back when, all the way back at the 5th anniversary, where we got our first Kaido, this one right here, I do think that this Kaido is going to be Dex too. I have a very sneaky suspicion that it's going to be very similar looking to this particular character. Powerhouse Striker, I don't think those will be the classes. I think he'll be Powerhouse Driven, just like Big Mom. But I do think that he will be Dex. And the reason I say this is because when you scroll down here and you take a look at this Kaido, and then you take a look at, that's the 5+ Kaido compared to, and then you have a look at this Kaido, that they do very similar things. These Kaidos, they do, basically this is just a budget free-to-play version of Verse Kaido. What I'm saying is, oh, that's not right, this is right. What I'm saying is that utilizing the new Kaido alongside this Big Mom is going to be something very similar, in the sense that V1 Kaido and this new Kaido are going to be kind of the same in terms of what they look like and the way they operate. I do think that the Kaido will have... Where did my Kaido tab go? There it is. I do think the Kaido will have something similar to this end of turn damage shenaniganry, popping the special on the first turn, but something to do with his magma effect and the burn mechanic. With Big Mom has the ability to burn units and give a conditional. I think Kaido will do something very similar, but I think he will also have something to do with additional damage, which you can then stack with this particular Big Mom. The release of this particular character just leads me to believe that Dex-driven Powerhouse is going to become a bit more of a thing, and if we do get a side legend alongside Kaido, I do think that they'll probably be Dex as well to help out this particular batch. What we've seen in the past to do with the Beast Pirates in terms of King, Queen, Jack, and then Verse Kaido, that's already set in stone. That's its own thing. I think that's done and dusted. They don't need to worry about buffing that anymore and do something a little bit different with what Driven Powerhouse. And the direction I think they'll go is, like I said, towards this Dex kind of meta. Big Mom is fantastic. She's a terrific legend. I'm not going to break her down, but basically this whole having a second conditional leads me to believe that, yeah, Kaido will have something to do with like additional damage, because of that magma burning effect. I don't think I explained that very well earlier, but Big Mom will do the burning, and then Kaido will do the additional damage conditional, and that way you can stack both of these together to do some fun stuff. But I do think Kaido will do some more stuff as well, because there is a particular unit that is coming out that looks like this, and the free-to-play lead performers are exceptional. They're Driven Powerhouse, and again, this leads me to believe that Kaido will also be Driven Powerhouse, but they're a strength unit. So Kaido could be strength, but for me, I'm leaning more towards him being a Dex unit. And the reason I say that is because this particular unit has a Sailor ability that makes Dex Orbs beneficial for Driven Powerhouse characters and boosts base attack of top row by 100, and then changes all orbs into Dex at the start of the fight. So they're doing a lot of stuff with Dex, which is really odd. And then their super special changes orbs into Dex and reduces damage by 70%. So they're doing some weird stuff with Dex here. So I'm thinking, as a Sailor, they would work great, right? Because they give you a full board of orbs at the start of the fight, alongside being a Dex character. Or Kaido could be strength, and then those unfavorable orbs would be matching. But as a captain, these guys make Dex and quick orbs beneficial for strength-driven and powerhouse characters. They activate their special on turn as well. And they need a Kaido on their crew to do what they actually do best. Now, they reduce despair by 5 turns, changes orb including Wano into tandem, and if captain is driven powerhouse, increases the duration of status attack boosting buffs by 1 turn. And if your crew has a Kaido as a supporting character, boost the attack of driven powerhouse by 2.5 for 1 turn, increasing the orb amplification by 0.25, otherwise boosting driven powerhouse by 2.25. So I have a feeling that this Kaido is probably going to do some sort of orb boosting effect, and then this character can be your attack booster. So not only does this unit work very, very well alongside Super Tandem Kaido, but alongside this new Kaido. Now, you could probably sit there and say, Stump, this is just like screaming at us that this unit was built for Super Tandem Kaido. Well, in my eyes, why would they create this unit almost, well, over a year later for a character that is already incredibly powerful? To me, it really just doesn't make that much sense. Now, this character does work exceptionally well with Super Tandem Kaido. I'm not denying that. I think it's a fantastic unit for that particular character, making that character a lot better as well. But it just does seem quite weird that they would release this character right now and only have him work really, really well with a old strength Kaido. And because of that, I don't think they're going to introduce a new strength Kaido to try and overtake that strength Kaido. Dex Kaido that does an orb boost and an additional damage, very similar to what Super Tandem Kaido is doing, but just in a different manner that doesn't have anything to do with strikers. Now, Big Mom is a Super EX. She's a Super EX unit that does 2 super classes, so I do think that Kaido will be a Dex, Driven Powerhouse, Super Type units, or Super EX with Super Type included in there with one of his classes. I don't know which ones. Or they go down the route of Striker and they don't do stuff with Striker. And then his special, I believe, will be very reminiscent of something like this particular character right here, where he does end of turn damage over a certain amount of time. He does a conditional boost, so he works well with Big Mom for increased damage taken. And then he also does an orb boosting attack, a special, so that way you can get the extra 0.25 on top of that when you use the Calamities or the lead performers, alongside them increasing it. So I do think it'll be a 2-turn. On top of that, he'll probably have some other shenanigans in his kit, changes into his dragon form, not his dragon form, and all that kind of stuff. But that's the crux of what I believe this card will do. Now, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below if you agree, if you disagree, whatever you guys think. Let me know down below, too, what you guys want this Kaido to do, too, because I'd be very interested to see what you guys have to say as well. While you're down there, like I said, the start bell, like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff for me. Most importantly, though, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later!